I want to talk about the muscles of the upper limb. The muscles of the upper limb. In the axio-appendicular side, that is the thoraco-appendicular side, we have in the anterior group pectoralis major, pectoralis minor, subclavius and serratus anterior. They connect the upper limb to the trunk and stabilize the scapula. They also move the shoulder girdle and arm. In the posterior group, we have the trapezius, the latissimus dorsi, the levator scapulae, rhomboid major and rhomboid minor. They position and stabilize the scapula and assist in the movements of the upper limb. In the scapulohumeral group, that is the intrinsic shoulder muscles, we have the deltoid, the supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, subscapularis, and teres major. These groups stabilize the shoulder joint and produce abduction, rotation, flexion, and extension of the arm. Then we have the rotator cuff muscle, the 6 rotator cuff muscles. Here, part of the rotator cuff, that is the 6, we have supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. They are called the 6. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. They stabilize the glenohumeral joint and prevent the dislocation of the humeral head. Now let's go to the muscles of the arm, the brachium muscles. On the anterior compartment, you have the flexor group. This is made up of the biceps brachii, the brachialis, and the coracobrachialis, with the brachialis being the main muscle or main flexor of the arm. They flex the elbow, supinate the forearm, and assist in shoulder flexion. Yes. Then we have in the posterior compartment the extensor muscles. Here we have the triceps brachii and the anconus. They extend the elbow and stabilize the elbow joint. These are the muscles of the forearm. We are in the forearm compartment. In the anterior forearm, we have the flexor pronator group. Flexor pronator groups. Here we have the pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor digitorum profundus, flexor pollicis longus, and pronator quadratus. They flex the wrists and fingers and also pronate the forearm. In the posterior compartment of the forearm, we have the extensor supinator group. This group contains the brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris, supinator, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and extensor pollicis longus, and extensor indicis. These extend the wrist and fingers and also supinate the forearm. Now let's go to the intrinsic muscle groups of the hand. This is where we have the thenar area. The muscles in the thenar area are the abductor pollicis brevis, flexor pollicis brevis, and opponens pollicis. They control the thumb movements and enable opposition and precision grip. We have the hypothenar muscle group. This is the hypothenar area. And the muscles here are abductor digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi, and opponens digiti minimi. They control movements of the little finger. And here we have the intermediate hand muscles. They are the lumbricoids, the lumbricals, the palmar interossi, and the dorsal interossi. They make up the fine movements of the fingers, the metacarpophalangeal flexion and interphalangeal extension. They are also the abductors, ABD, abductors and adductors of the finger. Very important. Yes, don't forget, the upper limb muscles, they prioritize mobility and precision. The rotator cuff muscle stabilizes the shoulder. The anterior arm muscles flexes. The posterior arm muscles extends. And in the anterior forearm, we have the flexors and pronators. While in the posterior forearm, we have the extensors and supinators. While the brachialis is the major flexor of the arm. Thank you so much. I am still Ekechukwu Dora Ozioma of Anatomy Made Easy. Thank you.